Hey, what's up YouTube? Houston here. And for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, salute. And for my favorite patrons, always double salute. Now, today's video, we're going to be talking about how to build a perfect credit score with no credit history. So a lot of people are out in the market they're either their kids about to turn 18 and they're trying to help them get good credit, or you may be an individual that you always use cash, right? Or you just filed bankruptcy and you're trying to rebuild your credit. Well, this video is actually going to help you, and you're going to be amazed at how easy it is. Now, here's the thing I need you all to understand. There's two different credit reportings. There's your FICO score and your Vantage score, right? And so with your Vantage score, it usually will give you a higher score, okay? And so granted, you're starting out, okay? And like with your Vantage score, it may say, oh, you got one trade line, and it may say you got a 750 credit score, right? But with FICO score, you may have one trade line, but unless that trade line is reporting for at least 60 days, then you won't have a credit score at all. All right, so you have to keep that in mind. But also, as you build up credit and stuff, most of the time when you're dealing with like trying to get more credit cards and loans and stuff, most of the time your lenders are going to use your FICO score instead of your Vantage score. And so you need to know that. As for those of you that already have a credit score that's looking at this and trying to figure out, well, what's the best system to use to get my real credit score, then I'm going to put a link below and so that you can actually get access to your real FICO score. Because I believe if you know what your real FICO score is, you'll be more cautious in terms of when you're applying for credit cards and stuff. And so we also do consultation on that as well. Now, here's the thing about it. This would be the easiest thing. They have two companies out there. They have Extra and they have, it's another one, something financial. You have to excuse me, guys, but it's very important. But Extra is one of the leading companies out there. So let's focus on Extra for a moment. Okay, so with Extra, they report to Equifax and Experian, right? This is your debit card transactions, okay? So if you're an individual trying to build credit and stuff, you may want to see if Extra works with your financial institution. And so if they do, you can link your bank account information up with this, and it'll report all your debit card transactions at the end of the month that'll report to the credit bureaus. Now, I did make a detailed video on how not only Extra but other credit card companies to help boost up your credit score. So if you actually want to see that video, then put a comment below, because I believe that video will definitely help you. Now, here's something that's real big, and that is having your rent reported. Now, these three companies are the top because they report to all three credit bureaus. Actually, there's 13 companies, and I have a separate video coming that I'm actually explain about those. But here's the thing about it. You have Boom Rental. They report up to 2 years. They report to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Then you have Isusu Rent. They report up to 2 years, and they report to Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. And then you have Rent Report Team, and they report to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion up to 2 years. Now, the reason that this is so important, especially for you individuals that don't have no credit history and you probably trying to get into the real estate game. So I keep telling you, if you're trying to get into the real estate game for becoming a real estate investor, even if you don't have any credit history, you need to build up that file, right? So these here companies, because they actually report to all three credit bureaus, and they report up to 2 years, what it does, it helps you qualify for FHA and HUD loans. And so they would use this as criteria to help you qualify for a mortgage. And then you're only putting 3 3% down, so you don't have to put that whole 20% down where your conventional loans are required. Okay, so that's the reason that I'm telling you. It's in terms of you don't have no credit history, or you never use credit, or you just coming out of a bankruptcy. Following this format, you'll be amazed at how not only you're able to build up credit, but you start putting yourself in a position to get larger lines of credit. Now, Grow Credit is another one because, one, they use subscriptions. So if you're with Hulu, Netflix, Spotify, car insurance, you check out with Grow Credit to see if they're actually in your state. Do they operate in your state? Because they report to the credit bureaus as well. Also with your utilities. This is very important. Now, again, remember I was telling you guys about the difference between the FICO score and the Vantage score? Well, here's the thing about it. Let's look at the FICO score so you can understand. Like FICO 8, they don't apply for like rent payments and subscriptions, right? But FICO 9 does, okay? And a lot of your fintech companies, they pull from FICO 9. Most of your banks, they pull from FICO 8, okay? Wells Fargo pulls from FICO 9. But at the same time, reporting your subscriptions as well as your rental history will definitely increase your credit score, all right? Now, here's another one. This is very important because a lot of people don't understand how this works. Adding an authorized user, okay? Because some people are like, well, authorized users don't work. Well, again, FICO 8 authorized users are not counted. FICO 9 authorized users are counted, okay? So it still increases your credit score. Now, in terms of like when you was added on as an authorized user, depending on the credit card company, whether they're going to take the originator that has the original account and apply their starting date, or they may just give you a new starting date as an authorized user. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. But in terms of actual authorized users work, yes, they do work. And the reason they work because credit card companies are begging you to be able to add authorized users. The reason they want you to add authorized users onto your credit file is so that they will have a database of people that they can solicit their credit cards to, right? So you don't cut your nose off to spite your face. Because if they say we don't allow you to add authorized users, we don't report authorized users anymore or whatever, well, guess what? That kills their database. So that's the reason I'm telling you authorized users do work. Now, our company, we do offer authorized users. We do offer advice on helping build up personal credit as well as business credit. So you can check out three-way funding at HoustonMcMiller.net or the link in this description to set up a consultation. Now, here's something that I'm going to tell you guys. If it's possible for you all as individuals to become a member of Navy Federal and you don't have any credit history, I would tell you to sign up for Navy Federal Nrewards Security Card, okay? Then I will tell you, I would suggest to you to sign up for Navy Federal Pledge Loan, all right? Now, you got to understand why I'm telling you this. Not only are we going toward a perfect credit score, but we're trying to be able to get the maximum amount of personal credit funding as well as business credit funding also. So in terms of Navy Federal Nrewards, it's going to report to all three credit bureaus. Okay, but here's the kicker. That $200 deposit, 6 payments of good payments, it turns into $2,000. So as a primary trade line, all of these accounts I'm telling you about, these are primary trade lines to help you get to a perfect credit score. So you would have that balance across the board because you have different accounts reporting on your credit file. Now there's one more account, like I said, we talked about the pledge loans as well. The reason I tell you to get a pledge loan as well as a secured card with Navy Federal, because of their internal data. Now, their internal data, their internal scoring, what ends up happening is that say that your file is, say that you was a person with bad credit, but because you have other accounts with them, it's still possible, even with a 530 credit score, to get a $25,000 credit card with Navy Federal. That happens all the time, okay? Because they look at internal scoring. How long you been with us? How long you been making direct deposits and stuff? Now, here's another secret I'm going to tell you guys that is so important so you understand, okay? Your DTI, your debt to income ratio. So the amount of income that you also make, that makes a difference in terms of you being approved for larger amounts of credit, okay? But in terms of following this guideline, if you don't have no credit and you just filed a bankruptcy, these are the steps that you need. You don't need a whole lot of accounts in order to have a perfect credit score. 4 or 5 accounts from different angles, you'll have a perfect credit score. You notice I'm not even talking about a department store card. So you don't even have to have a department store card. So you don't have to have a Macy's card or just a JCPenney's or a Target card. You don't need those type of cards, okay, to have a perfect credit score. Now, in terms of another unsecured credit card, if you don't have any credit, this credit union, TDE Credit Union, they, for people that don't have no credit or rebuilding their credit, they have an unsecured credit card. Limit starts at $500. Okay, so if you don't have no credit and you add those other things onto the credit, plus adding this here credit card, now you're starting to get a strong credit file. Making sure, here's another secret for you guys. Make sure that you make your payments. If you say that you use say $200 of the credit card or $150 of the credit, make sure that you make weekly payments on that credit card. The reason is because all the credit bureaus don't report at the same time. So that way your credit report stays more stable, okay? Credit score stays more stable. Now, in terms of personal loans on the credit file, so with trying to get a personal loan so that it reports to the credit file, like I said, you have a pledge loan through the credit union, but you got also outside lenders as well. So you have CASHUSA that even if you don't have a credit score, they will still give you a loan, long as you have a good payment, not good payment history, I apologize. But if you have a stable job, you have a monthly income, okay, those are the things that they look at, and the longer you've been at your residence. So if you're a person that's not hopping from place to place, then you have a higher chance because they're not looking at the personal credit. So they're using other data metrics in order to help you get a loan. And then if you want to use that loan to pay towards your pledge loan or to do another secured card or whatever, you can do that as well, okay? So you have CASHUSA, then you have credit loan. And credit loan, again, they're not focused on the credit history. It's not about the credit history. It's about how long you've been on your job. Do you have steady income, and how long you've been at your residence? The unfortunate part about them, they don't operate in New York and Connecticut. And so starting out, your loan may be up to $5,000, but that's okay because you don't have any credit. So that's what you want to be able to leverage off of, especially if you never had a credit card. you just now trying to build your credit, trying to build it the right way. If I'm doing a good job with explaining this, would you put a comment below and please share this information? Because I think if more people was aware that they don't have to have a lot of these high interest credit cards like Total One or First Premier or those other cards that charge you all these high annual fees, is not necessary. Okay, in order to help you get perfect credit and to accomplish getting larger lines of credit as well. So for those of you that may have questions about personal credit or business credit, or just need a consultation about the both of them, click the link in the description or go to 3-Way Funding or HoustonMcMiller.net. Thank you.